and the Director of the Office of Student Affairs, Assistant Professor Roda L. Tajo. The graduating students of Class 2025 from the Faculty of Education, the Secretary to the Faculty, Assistant Professor Angel May O. Ombid. The Program Marshal for the Associate in Arts, Assistant Professor Joel L. De Castro. The Associate in Arts candidates. Marshal for the Bachelor of Education Studies, Assistant Professor Kimberly P. Florendo. The Bachelor of Education Studies candidates. Program Marshal for the Graduate Certificate in Distance Education and Master of Distance Education, Assistant Professor Ana Katrina T. Marshall. The Graduate Certificate in Distance Education candidates. Master of Distance Education candidate. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in Mathematics Teaching, Ms. Maria Digi Ana M. Avila. The Diploma in Mathematics Teaching candidates. Program Marshal for the Diploma in Science Teaching, Assistant Professor Joseph A. De Mesa. The Diploma in Science Teaching candidates. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in Language and Literacy Education, the Master of Arts in Education, Language and Literacy Education, and Master of Arts in Language and Literacy Education, Ms. Lea Priscilla S. Labastilla. The Diploma in Language and Literacy Education candidates. Information, Language and Literacy Education candidate. The Master of Arts in Language and Literacy Education candidates. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in Social Studies Education and Master of Arts in Social Studies Education, Professor Juliet Aleta R. Villanueva. The Diploma in Social Studies Education candidates. The Master of Arts in Social Studies Education candidate. From the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies, the Secretary to the Faculty, Assistant Professor Margaret J. Suarez. The Program Marshal for the Associate of Arts in Digital Design and Art, Assistant Professor Shari Eunice T. San Pablo. The Associate of Arts in Digital Design and Art candidates. The Program Marshal for the Associate of Science in Information Technology, Assistant Professor Lay Christopher R. Lactuan. The Associate of Science in Information Technology candidates. The Program Marshal for the Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia Studies, Assistant Professor Benigno B. Agapito Jr. The Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia Studies candidates. Program Marshal for the Diploma in Computer Science, Assistant Professor Al Francis D. Librero. The Diploma in Computer Science candidates. The Program Marshal for the Master of Development Communication and the Assistant to the Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration, Associate Professor Myra C. Almodiel. The Master of Development Communication candidates. The Program Marshal for the Master of Information Systems and Assistant to the Chancellor, Associate Professor Ria May H. Borromeo. The Master of Information Systems candidates. From the Faculty of Management and Development Studies, the Secretary to the Faculty, Assistant Professor Lloyd Lindell P. Simporios. The Program Marshal for the Associate of Arts in Digital Entrepreneurship, Assistant Professor Tricia C. Ascal. The Associate of Arts in Digital Entrepreneurship candidates. The Program Marshal for the Graduate Certificate in Asian Studies and Master of Asian Studies and the Assistant to the Chancellor, Assistant Professor Lorena Jean D. Saludades. The Graduate Certificate in Asian Studies candidates. The Master of Asian Studies candidates. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in Environment and Natural Resources Management and Master of Environment and Natural Resources Management, Assistant Professor Carl Abelard Edberto L. Villegas, Jr. The Diploma in Environment and Natural Resources Management candidates. The Master of Environment and Natural Resources Management candidates. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in International Health and Master of International Health, and the Assistant to the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs for Research, Professor Myra D. Oruga. The Diploma in International Health candidates. The Master of International Health candidate. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in Land Use Planning, Assistant Professor Remcy A. Pasahol. The Diploma in Land Use Planning candidates. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in Land Valuation and Management, Assistant Professor Jeff D. Muñez. The Diploma in Land Valuation and Management candidates. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in Research and Development Management and Master of Research and Development Management, and the Assistant to the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs for Instruction, Assistant Professor Leo Mendel D. Rosario. The Diploma in Research and Development Management candidates. The Master of Research and Development Management candidates. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in Social Work and Master of Social Work, Assistant Professor Edmerson Calungsod. The Diploma in Social Work candidates. the Master of Social Work candidates. The Program Marshal for the Diploma in Women and Development, Assistant Professor Maria Carolina Bello. The Diploma in Women and Development candidate. Program Marshal for the Master of Arts in Nursing, Associate Professor Rita C. Ramos. The Master of Arts in Nursing candidates. Program Marshal for the Master in Nursing Education, Assistant Professor Regine Carla Bagalanon. The Master in Nursing Education candidates. The Program Marshal for the Master of Public Management, Assistant Professor Rose Nonet C. Capadosa. The Master of Public Management candidates. From the Faculty of Education, the Program Marshal for the Doctor of Philosophy in Education and Member-at-Large of the UPOU Executive Committee representing the Faculty of Education, Assistant Professor Dennis Lee Jarvis B. Ibanez. The Doctor of Philosophy in Education candidate. From the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies, the Program Marshal for the Doctor of Communication, Assistant Professor Emily M. Amoloza. The Doctor of Communication candidates. The Faculty Marshal, the Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration, Professor Jean A. Saludades. The faculty members of the UP Open University. The officials of the UP Open University, the Director of the Quality Assurance Office, Assistant Professor Ria Valerie D. Cabanes, the Director of the Ugnayan ng Pahinungod, Director Larry N. Cruz, the Director of the Office of Gender Concerns and Member-at-Large of the UPOU Executive Committee, representing the Faculty of Management and Development Studies, Assistant Professor Maria Lourdes P. Harabe, The Director of the Center of Open and Digital Teaching and Learning, Associate Professor Juvie Lizette M. Hervasio. The Director of the Information and Communication Technology Development Office, Associate Professor Reynald Adrian D. Pugoy. The Director of the Office of Public Affairs and the Assistant to the Chancellor, Professor Primo G. Garcia. The Executive Committee Marshal, the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Associate Professor Aurora V. Lacaste. The UPOU Executive Committee members, members at large representing the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies, Assistant Professor Ruth B. Rodriguez. The Dean of the Faculty of Management and Development Studies, Associate Professor Finaflor F. Tailan. The Dean of the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies, Associate Professor Roberto B. Figueroa, Jr. The Dean of the Faculty of Education, Assistant Professor Charis T. Reyes. Former UPOU officials, former Dean, Professor Emeritus Inocencio E. Buot, Jr. Former Dean and former Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Teresita I. Barcelo. Former Dean, Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration, former Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and President of UPOU Foundation Incorporated, Dr. Melinda F. Lumanta. Former UPOU Chancellor and Director, TVUP, Professor Emeritus Grace Javier Alfonso. The founding Chancellor of UPOU, Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padolina. The UP officials and deans of UP constituent universities, the University Registrar of UP Diliman, Dr. Rowena Quinto Bailon. The Dean of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, UP Mindanao, Dr. Joanna Lynn B. Cruz. The Dean of the College of Nursing, UP Manila, Dr. Sheila R. Bonito. The University Assistant Vice Presidents. The Assistant Vice President for Renewable Energy Development and Management for Southern Constituent Universities, Dr. Fernando O. Paras, Jr. The Chancellors of the Constituent Universities. The Chancellor of the University of the Philippines, Baguio, Dr. Joel M. Adawe. The Chancellor of the University of the Philippines, Visayas, Dr. Clement C. Camposano. The Chancellor of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, Dr. Jose V. Camacho, Jr. The University Vice Presidents. The Vice President for Digital Transformation, Associate Professor Peter A. C. The Vice President for Public Affairs, Attorney Marian Pugia Regidor, represented by the Assistant Vice President for Public Service, Assistant Professor Mark Lester Del Mundo Chico. The Vice President for Administration, University of the Philippines, Dr. Augustus C. Resurreccion. The Vice President for Planning and Finance, Vice President Irene Y. Balmores. The members of the UP Board of Regents, the Staff Regent, Honorable Marie Teresa S. Alhambra. The Student Regent, Honorable Ron Dexter L. Clemente. The Faculty Regent, Honorable Early Sol A. Gadong. The Alumni Regent, Honorable Robert Lester F. Aranton. Carrying the UP-OU Maze, the University Registrar, Assistant Professor Blanca Flor P. Arada. The Chancellor of the University of the Philippines Open University, Professor Joanne V. Serrano. Carrying the UP System Maze, the Secretary of the University and of the Board of Regents, Attorney Roberto M.J. Lara. The President of the University of the Philippines System and the co-chairperson of the UP Board of Regents, Honorable Angelo A. Jimenez. The Commencement Speaker, Assistant Secretary of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Honorable Janet P. Armas.